Welcome back everyone to the Hello One Guy, and this is part number 3 of the Pong series, and in this video we are going to pretty much finish all of our game, add main menu and UI and stuff, and in the next video we will add the actual sprite for our bird and ground and the pipes and background and all of that. So and then we will of course build our game in the next video. So in order to get started with this, the first thing that we need to do is I think we should add a UI system. So for that, I'm going to right click here, just adding a UI canvas, because you know the other one was for our game over, and this is going to be our general canvas, not a canvas. Actually, you can just add a text mesh pro here directly and call this one score text. All right, that's with that done. What we are going to do is we are going to make sure that its position is 0 0. It's currently in the center. We are going to move to the top and stretched on the X and make sure its alignment is set to the center. Perfect. And now what we are going to do is we are going to increase its position on the Y to something like negative, decrease actually negative 40. All right, then we are going to change its text to something like 10. Yeah, you know, just to test out. And then I'm going to make it bold, and then I'm also going to turn on auto sizing. Then you might increase its height a little bit to something like that, 75 maybe. 75 is pretty enough. And yeah, that looks very nice, and we have got a nice text up here. Now we of course need to change it according to when our score actually gets updated. Now for this, if you remember, let me just make the canvas unselectable and hidden in the scene view. And if you remember, if I go under my you can do that, by the way. If you want a thing to be not visible in screen view, you just need to click it here and here. That makes it unselectable and invisible. It's still visible in the game view and in the actual game. Alright, so what we need to do here is actually open up the pipe prefab folder and select this pipe. Now if I open up this pipe, the double clicking on it, you can see that we have got this kind of trigger here. Now what's the purpose of that? Well, when the player actually crosses this trigger, then we will know that we are supposed to have the player increase its score. So with this, it's going to be really simple. I'm just going to we can actually make it in the pipe script. So if I go under pipe, this, by the way, this collider is, this trigger is on the actual pipe. So alright, so if I open up my script here, what you should be able to see is that I can go under my pipe script, and yeah, you can see that we have got our speed and lifetime and max variation and all of that here. But what we are going to do is all right, this is not exactly what I wanted. We need a, first of all, we need a reference to the player, and for before we do anything, by the way, I think we need a private int score here, and then we just do it in the update method. You know, there are ways to make it more efficient, but we are just going to do it in the update method. In the UI header here, I'm going to go ahead and add in a CLI field, a private TM Pro. You know, that's a namespace dot text mesh pro, text mesh pro unity GUI, that one, and this is going to be just the score text. Awesome. And what we are going to do is in the update method, we are going to say core text dot set text, not time dot toString, score dot toString. That should work. Actually, that's going to work. And we have got everything done here, so we need to add in a public method here to increase our score. So public void increase score. What this does is score plus plus, simple, just using an expression body. And what we are going to do here in the pipe.cs, we are going to have a private float, no, not a private float, a private player called the player. Okay, and in the start method, we are going to say player is equal to get game object dot find a find object of type player. And okay, it's kind of alright, that should work. We don't need this, by the way. We're inside a game object. Anyway, this should actually just work. Player is equal to find object of type player, and yeah, that's going to work. So with that done, I think we can, yeah, we can just use this. So if I add in a on trigger enter 2D method here, on trigger enter 2D, and we have got a collider here, not a collision. I don't know why it's named collision. That kind of really thing that sucks. I mean, it should be named collider because collision and collider are very different concepts in Unity. Anyways, what we can do in here, we can say if collider dot compare tag, and we can compare the tag with player. Actually, I just decided that we don't need that. We don't need this reference at all. You can just go here and you can say player is equal to collider dot get game object dot get component player. You don't need that actually. And what you can see, if player, you can do here is say if player is not equal to null, then we are going to say player dot increase score. Alright, so this should basically work. It's going to track when we enter the trigger, then it's going to get a reference to the player, and if that is not equal to null, which means the player actually exists, we are going to increase its score. And increase score, we basically just increment the score, and we are in the base method, we are setting the score correctly. So if I go to Unity right now and I hit play, then everything should actually work. So yeah, let's try it out, and you can see that okay, it's kind of immediately paused. Okay, we didn't have any, we didn't set the reference. So select the player, drag and go under here, drag the score text to this, and all right, then now if I hit play, it should actually work. So yeah, it's working. I can go here, 0 score and 1 score, 2 score, and yeah, that's pretty much working, and we have got a practically working you know, a game over system and a score system and everything. And I think our main game is pretty much enough, and now we should get to implementing the menu. Alright, so for the menu, it's actually rather simple. All we are going to do is go under my scene folder here, right click, create a new scene, if I can actually find that, and this is going to be main menu. Alright, in here what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, go under my game view, and I right click and add in a UI. Just start off by adding in an image here and a canvas, of course, and this image is going to be centered, and this image is going to be stretched actually, and this is going to be completely like, you know, whatever background color you want, something very nice. And maybe you want something like this, I don't know. That's really the worst idea, because you won't be able to you know, recognize it in the editor. Alright, so now what we are going to do is we are going to rename this to be background. Alright, and now we can start adding our actual object. So I'm going to first of all go ahead and add in a text here saying something like Flappy. That's going to call oh, and this is going to be title, and in here for the text we are going to say Flappy Bird. Then we are going to move it to the top, then we are going to stretch it at the top actually, and then we are going to center align it. Then we are going to decrease its position on the y until it's something like -120, and then we are going to make it bold and then auto sized. Then we are going to increase its height drastically, as much as we can. Alright, so you can see the height is quite large already, so I'm going to just make it something like that. Just set it to 180. Yeah, that looks pretty awesome, I guess. I don't know really if that is exactly what we want. Make sure no maximum limit. Yeah, that kind of looks nice, but it also kind of looks bad if you kind of make it like that. If we remove this, then it will kind of if I just, yeah, it will kind of adapt to the screen, and if I just add in a little bit of padding at the left, at the right, then you can see it kind of looks like this, which is awesome. Yeah, that's pretty nice actually. So anyways, with this I'm going to underline this as well, then I'm going to make it red. No, not really red, I'm just going to make it a greenish color. Then I'm going to go ahead and add in one singular button here, just a text mesh flow button called play button. Alright, with this we are going to make sure it's centered, and then decrease its position on the y just a little bit to something like -40, 30, 30, yeah, that's enough. Then you're going to make sure that this has got a large height. Then we're going to go under here, make sure that it says play, it's auto size, no limit, just increase the limit a lot in this max amount. Then we are going to add in a little bit of padding at all directions. Then we are going to go under the play button and increase its height even further into something like 85. Then we are going to actually, yeah, that actually looks pretty good. So this play button should actually, play our game, but we haven't got anything to do that. So we are going to go under here, go under UI event script, and remember this contains all of our events. So I'm going to create a public void here called start game. All this does is it says scene manager dot load scene, and for the build index we just say 1. Alright, so this will automatically load the game scene. Maybe you want to not do that and use a string name instead. You can put the name in here as well, but I'm not going to do that. And go under file and then build settings, and make sure that your main menu scene is here and your game scene is here, and this extra scene where is just build in here. Alright, so yeah, we've got main menu at 0 and the game at 1. So now we are going to go under currently we don't contain any prefabs, so go under game, and then I'm going to go under prefabs and make a prefab out of this UI 6 events. And then I'm going to open up my main menu scene and just drag that prefab so that we have everything set up already. And location doesn't matter, it can be, you might want to just reset it, reset position. Alright, so just select the canvas and actually the actual button. Then go under here, adding an on-click listener, UI events. For the function, select UI events, start game. Alright, so this should actually work. So if I go under here, if I hit play and just wait for a while it starts up, and you can see it's working. And if I hit the play button, okay, the game starts. That's really awesome. And I can restart the game if the game, if I die, I can restart the game. That's really awesome, and everything is pretty much working. And now I think we need to add a system so that when we actually die, so if I do that, this menu button should open up our menu. So that's going to be really simple to add. To do that, first of all, I'm going to go under my UI script and I'm going to add in yet another public void here called, actually let's just change this to an expression body, because I kind of like that. If you in just a single line of code. Anyways, open menu, same for this by the way. And this is really concise, and I encourage you to use it as well. Your style, your preference, but I really like this, and it's going to load the scene 0. Yeah, that works. It's going to load 0 scene, this is going to load 1, this is going to load the active build index. Pretty awesome. Anyways, we are going to go here, we are going to select the UI events here. Actually not UI events, just select, go to the canvas and select the, actually not the canvas, the game over canvas, and then select the menu button and then add in a on-click listener, drag the UI events in here for the function, select open menu. Alright, so this should work. So if I hit play right now, what you should see is that my play starts dog jumping and not jumping, flapping. This is flapping, and as soon as the game is over, I can click this menu, and that should take me to the menu, and I can hit play again. And yeah, so this means that our game is pretty much functional. We have got a working main menu, we have got a scoring system, and we haven't got a high score system right now. But if you want to implement it, I've got other tutorials on it. Many tutorials on implementing high score. You can watch some of my other tutorials. And yeah, this is pretty much working. We have got everything in place, and we have also got a night menu. So now I think in the next video what we will do is implement a actual Flappy Bird, because this is currently just cubes. So we are going to implement some sprites and animation. So that's going to be really cool. Just stay tuned for the next video. Check out my other develop channel, and I will see you in my next video. And make sure to like and subscribe, and bye.